So it's no secret that my husband and I love investing in real estate, and I want to share some of the benefits of real estate investing with you in hopes that you might be interested in investing in this too. So I wrote down some notes. I'm going to look at those as I share with you. The first reason is that it's a hard asset. It's something you can touch and feel and visit and put your money into. Number two, cash flow. Every month from our properties, we are seeing cash flow after we pay our expenses. And it's a great benefit. It helps with our living expenses. It's one of our income sources, and it's a great benefit. Number three, appreciation. Every year, typically, our properties have gone up in value, and that's pretty incredible. You might own a home personally, and over the last few years, we've seen some tremendous appreciation. It's worth a lot more than maybe what you paid for it, say 5 or 10, 15, 20 years ago. Number three, there's potential tax benefits. And I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty of this today. I can do that another day. But there's some great things that you can write off that really helps on the tax front for that income that you're receiving. Number four, your tenants are putting equity into the property. So every month they're paying that mortgage, and you're building equity in that property. They're paying down the note. So in, say, 20 or 30 years, depending on the loan that you've taken out on the property, it's going to be paid off. And it probably wasn't you that was paying it off if you have the unit filled for the most part. It's your tenants that are paying down that note, putting equity into the property, and eventually it's going to be paid off. And it will, cash flow very, very well at that point. Again, you should probably still have some expenses, but majority of that income that's coming in from the property is going to go in your pocket. The next one is it's hedge against inflation. So we all know inflation has been rough the last year or two. It's not been fun. But as inflation has gone up, most people are able to raise rents. And I am very cautious about this. I don't ever want to push my tenants out. I try to do very minimal rent raises. But that is something that you're able to control and raise those rents to help cover any other expenses that you might be accumulating in that process of owning rental properties. You can also be more passive. This is something I talk a lot about, maybe hiring a property manager if you're an active investor, or going the passive route and investing with other people, like what I do. I bring in other investors into my deals, and it gives you the chance to be really hands-off, but still take advantage of the majority of the benefits of real estate. Also, you're getting some diversification, outside of the stock market. Stock market's a great place to invest your money as well, but this is something that's a little bit different. And it's nice for people that are maybe looking to, expand the horizons, get into some other places of investing their money. And so this is a great way to diversify. There's also low barriers to entry. If you have a job, you have a W-2, you can often buy a property, buy a single family house, and maybe even only put 20 or 30% down. So if you can save up enough, to get in to your first property, you could even house hack. There's a lot of things out there for getting in. That's how we started, was renting our basement initially. And so we just bought our primary, got a primary loan on our property, and we're able to put tenants in the basement. So that's a really low barrier to entry in getting started. So definitely think outside the box in terms of how you can, get into real estate investing, and talk to other people, because there's a lot of good resources out there. There's fairly low risk too. Now, I do want to caution you in terms of, where your location is so important. Where are you investing? What kind of property are you buying? Does it need a ton of work? What kind of debt are you taking out on it? Are you planning to manage it? What kind of tenant base are you looking at? There's a lot of things you need to consider, but I think real estate in general can be a really solid investment and fairly low risk, which is nice. And then the last thing I'll mention is you just have the control over your investment. Maybe I would think a lot more than you would with like the stock market, where you're putting your money into a company that you have absolutely no control over on a regular. You might get an update quarterly, but for the most part, you really don't have any control over that investment at all. So with real estate, it gives you the chance to have more control if that's something that you're looking for. So I hope these benefits were helpful. Please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions. I know that there's actually more benefits out there. I just don't want to take all of your time today. So thanks for listening.